Hello Black Eagles, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We've got another video for you today. Some exciting developments in the Beşiktaş transfer news. So let's get into some transfer talk right now. Gabriel Paulista, after Giovanni van Bronckhorst signed on to be our new coach last week, we are now in negotiations once again with another person that was close to joining back in January. Gabriel Paulista, the central defender at the time, joined Atletico de Madrid from Valencia, but is now a free agent. We had actually agreed with him back in January, similar scenario to the whole Giovanni van Bronckhorst situation, where we had also agreed with Gabriel Paulista back then in January. However, Atletico de Madrid came in last minute, and I guess for Paulista at the time, that was an offer too good to refuse. But now he has agreed to join Beşiktaş. He only played 5 games for Atletico in the second half of the season. They did not decide to retain him. So Gabriel Paulista back on the agenda for Beşiktaş and actually coming to Istanbul tonight. So depending on when you're watching this, Wednesday evening, Gabriel Paulista is expected to arrive in Istanbul. Now the contract we're talking about is supposedly a 2-year deal with an additional option according to Ertan Süzgün. It's a contract worth 2.6 million euros a year. So it's a pretty hefty contract for Gabriel Paulista, who has a pretty impressive career. And actually, let's have a quick look at his career. So let's have a look here. We can start off with something I think most Beşiktaş fans are very concerned with, and that is his injury history. So if you look here down in the left-hand corner, we can see his injury history. And actually, yeah, he's had a couple of big injuries. Not like extremely big, like he doesn't have any cruciate ligament injuries or anything, but he has a couple of knee injuries in there. Back in 2017, he had a knee injury that kept him out of the game for 108 days, an equivalent of only 4 matches. So I guess that occurred, let's see, it occurred around in May, and he was back in September. So I guess he was lucky that he only really missed the preseason, although, you know, one could argue whether that is luck or not. And then he had another big knee injury, which kept him out for quite a while back in the 21-22 season from October 5th until February 20th. And that kept him out for 23 matches at Valencia. So that was a pretty big blow to him. But no career-ending injuries. You know, we've seen a couple of players over the past couple of years, you know, with ACL injuries, stuff like that. And those are injuries that can really drag a player's career down the drain. Let's have a look at his club history. So he played a bunch of years for Vitória in, I believe, that is Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed the Brazilian league. I was confused there because there is also a Vitória in Portugal, of course. And then he played 2 seasons for Villarreal. So as you can see, most of his career he spent in La Liga. But after playing for Villarreal for 2 seasons, he actually ended up joining Arsenal for 4 seasons. Well, 3 seasons, I should say. Played a bunch of Premier League games there as well. And then he went on to go to Valencia, where he became a stalwart at the back for them for many seasons until, of course, now the last half season he played for Atletico de Madrid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 seasons at Valencia, and then half a season at Atletico Madrid. And then finally, let's have a little look, a quick career overview here. So the majority of his career was spent in La Liga with 224 games in La Liga, 8 goals scored and also 5 assists. And he got booked 38 times, 38 yellow cards. 4 times he was sent off with a double yellow, and only once did he receive a direct red card. Then he's also got 46 games in the Premier League, scored 1 goal, gave 1 assist, got 10 yellow cards, 1 direct red card in the Premier League. And then finally, I think one thing that's also very important for when you judge a player, Champions League experience. That is, of course, the highest level other than the World Cup and the Euros and the Copa America and stuff like that. But at club level, without a shadow of a doubt, the Champions League is the highest level. He has 17 games in the Champions League and got 1 direct red card actually in the Champions League as well, 3 yellow cards. So a couple of direct red cards, and that might be a little bit tied into his play style. He is known to be a warrior, a combative defender, maybe not exactly the leader we are looking for at the back, more the secondary strong man, warrior, combative type of defender. So Gabriel Paulista, our first addition to the squad this season, most likely. I'm not going to say it's official yet. Of course, we all know what happened to Lianco last season. Came to Istanbul, didn't pass the medical, and obviously didn't end up signing. But Gabriel Paulista, it seems like that deal is all about to get finished, all about to get done. So I guess by the time that most of you are watching this video, it might even already be official, because he's already coming to Istanbul tonight. Medical expected tomorrow. And then some other exciting news other than Gabriel Paulista. This is not really, how should I say, it's not about a player transfer. It's actually about Giovanni van Bronckhorst. So Gio is actually coming to Istanbul tomorrow is the expectation, and the signing ceremony is scheduled to take place on Friday at 11 local time. So expect a big press conference from Beşiktaş presenting their new coach, and that will be paired by actually the Black Eagles podcast later that night. We still have to figure out when we will go live, because Cartel has work until 9 local time, so it might be a very late episode actually, but we are probably going to be live on Friday, discuss whatever, all the things that were discussed in the press conference, the things Gio had to say, and hopefully we'll be able to talk more about Gabriel Paulista as well. Well, then the only other thing I have to talk about is one Dutch player, Steven Berghuis. We've heard his name, I think, for the past 6 months, actually the past year, because if you remember when the Dusan Tadic transfer broke down, Beşiktaş fans were understandably very upset, and they were basically clamoring for a player to be transferred anyway, a creative winger, and the next best thing for many Beşiktaş players was the possibility of Steven Berghuis, who also plays for Ajax, of course, has been playing for Ajax for the last 3 seasons. But before he played for Ajax, he actually played for Feyenoord for many seasons under Giovanni van Bronckhorst, and he was arguably Giovanni van Bronckhorst's most influential player. He gave him a free role. He gave him a lot of responsibility. He made him very important, something I've been told is very important for Steven Berghuis himself. They had a good relationship, good working relationship, and the rumors have been that Giovanni van Bronckhorst wants Steven Berghuis at Beşiktaş. There's a little clip I'm going to show you from the Telegraaf. Their podcast is called Kick Off. And Mike Verwey, who is an Ajax watcher, a journalist very close to Ajax, actually had some things to say about the rumors linking Steven Berghuis with Beşiktaş. Let's watch that clip right now.
Goed nieuws voor Van Bronckhorst. Die gaat toch naar Beşiktaş. Van Gastel neemt hij mee, dus die is ook van. Die heeft uiteindelijk ook nog zijn kans mogen grijpen.
Maar wel een hele lastige club. Er is een uitverkoop en ze gaan verjongen. Ja, en de grote clubs in Turkije, de andere grote clubs zoals Fenerbahçe en Galatasaray, die halen natuurlijk heel veel ervaren spelers op. Mm-hmm. Om een gooi te doen naar de titel. En dit jaar waren ze natuurlijk heel snel afgehaakt bij Beşiktaş, de derde club van Istanbul. Dus dat wordt echt wel een heel lastig verhaal om je daar te onderscheiden in die competitie met Beşiktaş. Dus ik denk dat... Ik weet niet of dat zo'n verstandige keuze is.
En als het even niet lekker loopt, vliegen er ook zo uit. Ik las trouwens in de geruchtenstroom dat Berghuis werd genoemd als naam die Van Bronckhorst mee zou willen nemen.
In de Turkse media hebben we geen berichtje van gemaakt.
Was het de Turkse media?
Ja, want dat klopt niet.
Oh, het klopt niet.
Ik heb het even geïnformeerd, maar Beşiktaş, het zou wel concreet kunnen worden, maar Beşiktaş heeft zich op dit moment nog niet bij Ajax gemeld.
Okay, so basically what was said there, for those of you who don't speak Dutch, Initially, they spoke about good news for Giovanni van Bronckhorst. His move to Beşiktaş came to fruition, obviously referring to the fact that it broke down in January. Then they talked a little bit about it was, of course, a very difficult situation at Beşiktaş, who are going to do a squad overhaul. So it's not an easy job. Might be even dangerous. If things don't go very well, he might get sacked. This is kind of the stereotype, of course, about Turkey. We can't really argue with it, can we? Turkish clubs in general are a little volatile. Turkish football is volatile. So they talked about Giovanni van Bronckhorst at first, and then they talked about Steven Berghuis and about the rumors coming mainly out of Turkey, linking Steven Berghuis to a move to Beşiktaş. And Mike Verwey, the Ajax watcher from the Telegraaf, said, I informed with the club, I asked with the club, and as of yet, there has been no official contact from Beşiktaş with Ajax, so those reports aren't true. He did add, however, that things could actually go quickly and materialize later on. So he did not rule out an exit for Steven Berghuis at all. It does seem like there is something going on, but as of yet, there isn't anything concrete to report on his part. Ajax have not received an offer, as we have been reading in Turkish media, of course, that Beşiktaş are close to a deal and all that kind of stuff. So right now, the official word from Ajax is there has been no official bid from Beşiktaş. However, that doesn't rule out the move. So Steven Berghuis still seems to be very much on the agenda for Beşiktaş, but we'll have to wait and see how that situation develops. Hopefully we'll be able to report on that in the coming weeks. I doubt we'll be able to talk about it on Friday in a more concrete manner, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will be. Now, another part that I didn't show you from that podcast when they were talking about Ajax is the situation where they have to play Europa League qualifiers, just as we do, of course. But I think they have to start a little bit earlier. They start on the 1st of August. Obviously, we only have to play the playoff round, so we are guaranteed European group stage football. However, Ajax are not. They have their Europa League game, I believe, on the 1st of August or somewhere around there. So their situation right now is a little difficult, where they can't really... How should I put it? They were talking about signing some players. So, for example, Wout Weghorst is being linked to a move to Ajax. They were talking about that move is difficult to complete right now because they want to get rid of Akpom first, but they don't want to get rid of Akpom before those European qualifiers. So, I put two and two together, and it could be that they might not be too keen on letting Berghuis go super quickly, simply because they have those important European qualifiers to play, and that might play a part. However, I think, if Beşiktaş come in with a firm offer, Berghuis insists on leaving, it can go really quickly. He isn't irreplaceable, I guess I could say. Well, he didn't play that many games this season due to injury and suspensions. He only played 29 games this season for Ajax. Did score 8 goals and gave 10 assists, so statistically he had a good season, but he, missed a bunch of games towards the end of the season, especially with a back injury that he did say he has fully recovered of recently. But that's also part of the reason why he wasn't selected for the Netherlands, according to Ronald Koeman. We'll have to keep an eye on what happens with Steven Berghuis. Hopefully we can see some positive developments on that front soon. And that's all I got for you for today in terms of transfer talk. There's of course some rumblings about Mats Hummels, about Stefan Savic, but nothing concrete as of yet. Stefan Savic at this time is asking for too much money. Beşiktaş walked away from the negotiation table. Supposedly, Savic has now agreed to lower his wage demands, so we are in talks with him again. But Beşiktaş are also in talks with Mats Hummels. However, with Hummels, also pretty high wage demands, and mainly the fact that there's interest from AC Milan and there was another club that was interested that I'm spacing on right now, but some very appealing interest in him as well. So he has yet to decide. He has not said no, he has not said yes. So no major developments on Mats Hummels yet. So Beşiktaş are still talking to Stefan Savic at the moment from Atletico de Madrid. That's it for me for today. Hope you enjoyed this. Let us know if you would like more of this type of content. And in the meantime, press that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.